Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drangleic. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Drawn to a flame. Your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
Why, hello there, and welcome to my lore through. This is Dark Souls 2, the continuation of the first game. And while I cannot praise the sound like I ended up the previous series with, I'm just gonna war cry. This time around, we're gonna discuss a bit about this game. There is a lot to be discussed about this game. The lore of the Soul games stands true for even this title, and holy cow, there is a lot of things to discuss. First and foremost, we just stepped into the kingdom of Drangleic, into a wold upland up north, I believe is what the old lady says in the intro. It's certainly an interesting fact, considering all in all, but, you know, where is this kingdom? It's up to the north, and the only thing we know is in the north is the Northern Undead Asylum. Fact. We got a Rusted Coin, temporarily boosts luck. It's basically a rusted coin of a god that was worshipped in ancient times, but no one knows its true origins. It could be one of the gold, silver, or copper coins from the first game. It could be, but it is not said that it is. I should check actually the images of the 3 coins from the first game and compare it to this one if maybe one of them stands true. For those perceptive enough, you might have noticed there is something here. Small, smooth and silken stone. Oh yes, the small, smooth... I cannot into English, guys. Small, smooth and silky stone. The shine of the stone is no ordinary polish and can only be achieved over a long period. Some in this land are in search of such stones. Oh, that's certainly interesting. It can also restore some hit points, but we are not gonna use it for that. Oh no.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse. It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
To keep the tradition of the first game, we're gonna give us our role as our name. We're gonna call ourselves the Cursed. Even if this is not actually the name, the role of our protagonist in this game. But I won't spoil you with what I think is the lore and role of the protagonist. Yes, I'm sure.
At least you know your own name.
Not really my name, I know.
Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be? Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Alright, I'm gonna create a character here. Be right back. Okay, so unlike the first game, I'm actually gonna go play a lady this time around, and I started as a knight with I don't want a bonfire setting, I want a petrified something as a starting gift. We'll discuss all those starting gifts later, actually. I can discuss them now. We can start with nothing, a life ring, which slightly increases hit points, a human effigy, which restores our humanity, healing wares, which can restore various health, as well as cure poison, homeward bone, you know that. Seed of a Tree of Giants, which is an interesting item. It's mostly useful in PvP, only useful in PvP. Basically, all the enemies in a level will attack also the invader. Bonfire Ascetic is possibly the best power player gift, as it increases, when burnt, it increases the level of that zone by 1, meaning that zone is gonna become New Game Plus. Not entirely true, in some instances it's not true, but still, it's quite a thing. Petrified something is something, quite literally something, which we're gonna use sometimes very soon actually. Starting class Knight, and we're gonna find Lost Creation.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
They should really hire me as a stand-up comedian. Like, I am just standing there and they're laughing their ass off. I don't even know, man. These ladies. These are some crazy ladies. Anyway, now we have new equipment, we have a new face, we have a sword. Keeping in mind, before you actually enter this house, you can remove your equipment and notice that you're a male. Stuff. Yo.
This is a limbo. A link between Drangleic and the outer world. Fair traveller, I know that you must have a story. Why else would you visit such a place? This lost, decayed kingdom. My name is Millibeth. The old women were once firekeepers.
Got something.
I am here to look after them. It is what my mother did, and her mother before her, and so on. The old women were keepers of the fire. But now, the fire shows signs of fading. And the kingdom is beset by hollows.
So this is an interesting concept. Essentially, the more the fire fades, the more the hollows. These are also firekeepers, and yeah, quite an interesting thing considering they're all old. Do we know of them? Well, maybe. We know of the firekeepers in the first game, but you know, that's where it stops essentially. Let me go check my equipment. 40% equip load. I could lower it with the other armor that I start with a bunch. Guess I'm gonna go with this gauntlet. I'm trying to lower it to a reasonable level, because there is no such a thing as roll speed, there is roll distance in this game. You can fat roll if you go over 70%, but I want to keep myself at a decentable? That is like decent and reasonable together, guys. I want to keep myself between like 30 and 40% for a reasonable roll distance. Let's just put it that way. Let's light the bonfire. They made it way fancier this game around, guys. Firekeeper's dwelling. So it's an interesting concept, other than the fact that there is this guy over here. It's an interesting concept for sure. This place, Things Betwixt. It is a limbo, a place that connects the outer world from Drangleic. So Drangleic is a separated off land. This is the tutorial area. This is where you fight hollows, just for the sake and purpose of learning. And it is as easy as bashing that right one button on your controller. Or right bumper, I think? Or is it right trigger? I don't know how the terminology of the Xbox works. I am playing with the DualShock 3 controller, so there is that. But yeah, it's pretty similar to what the first game is. It is a bit more dynamic, as in when you block, it won't go you can see that the block animation doesn't go up immediately. It takes some time, so it is a bit more dynamic to what it used to be. So are stabs, actually. They are more dynamic. You can be interrupted out of a stab animation, and some people can actually roll out of a stab. So it is not as easy as, you know, just pressing one button. Dugger. Alright. Bows got a huge improvement in this game for sure. That's something. And other than that, ranged weapons in general got a huge improvement. Fist weapons also had a huge improvement in this game, so it opens up a whole new world of dynamics, really. You don't have to forcibly play a character of one kind, and expect to not be able to complete the game with the other characters, you know? You can pretty much complete the game with any kind of character. You want to go pure sorcery, you can complete with it. Well, that wasn't surprising, really. It is very much possible, I think, to complete it with a full ranged character, although I haven't never tried. This character, I intend to give it a bit of a different spin around. It's gonna be a quality build. I'm not gonna cast spells other than pyromancies, and I intend to dual wield straight swords. That is my idea.
You, give it smooth. Yes, you! Give us silky!
Well, we found the guys that are interested in our small, smooth, and silky stones. I believe their names are Tilla and Dio, or something like that. Tilla and Dino? I don't know. Dillo? Tilla and Dillo? Something like that. There are two crows again. There are two in this game, so there's that. They're both ladies, by the way. They're lady crows. We're gonna leave the items. Don't discard the item. Discarding means completely obliterating the item.
Yeah. So nice, so smooth. Yeah. Silky smooth.
They're kind of adorable. We got a Dynamite Shard, which is actually a stroke flock.
Give it smooth. Yes, you! Give us silky!
You can actually drop multiple items here at once.
Yeah. So nice, so smooth. Yeah. Silky smooth.
Alright, that's gonna be enough. White ring! That's actually kinda cool. So we got a ring. A precious ring which grants the protection of Quella, god of dreams, makes its wearer appear as a phantom, misleading invaders. He who sets the trap must be wary, for traps are known to spring upon their owners. Yeah, you can actually also invade and look like a white phantom, which is kind of a dickish move. Secondly, sorry about my voice. Titanite Shard. Oh yeah. Titanite was discovered in an ancient layer of earth, and it is said to be a gift of the gods. Titanite of the size has very little power, but it is still a rare find. And you know what they say about Titanite, guys. You know what they say about Titanite.
You. Yes.
It is present only in Lauron. It's just present in Lauron according to the first game. But it's also present in the second game, in Drangleic. Makes you think. Makes you think. I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. It's just a tip. It's just a tip. It's never confirmed, but it is very much likely that Drangleic and Lauron are very much the same place. But we're gonna discuss that more thoroughly as we go. That was the slowest anti-gravity jump attack I've seen in history, by the way. Okay, this is where shit gets real and I'm gonna die. Okay, I survived, guys. I survived. Jumping in this game. Holy shit. You know I don't like jumping in the first game. This game makes it just worse. By the way, you can sprint up ladders and you can slide down by holding the circle or whatever, it's the Xbox equivalent. I don't know, man. I don't know. Plunging attack! Those still exist. Although their effectiveness is actually diminished in this game. There aren't many bosses that you can actually plunge If any at all, actually. I'm thinking right now. Is there any boss that you can plunge successfully and get something done as damage? I don't know. I don't think so. Oh. Something to ponder about, anyway. Things Betwixt means literally things intertwined, things entangled. You know? Are these arch trees? Nah, just an idea. It's just a wicked idea that I'm getting. But here's a bit of an interesting area of the tutorial. I'm gonna wait for that guy to shoot his arrow, and then I'm gonna kick down so that he doesn't actually hit me. No. Alright, I'm gonna use my life gem. You will see that it's actually gradual hit point restoration here in this game. Everything is, even the Estus Flask. We're gonna get an Estus Flask. It is possible to plunge this guy, but I had mild success with that, let's just say that. It's actually a very interesting concept how you heal up in this game. I think healing items in this game are a tiny little bit overpowered. It is very similar to Divine Blessings and Elizabeth Mushrooms in the first game, actually, so there's that. Those angry hippos are angry hippos. Yeah, they're angry hippo, ogre, cyclop guys. And they're gonna murder me. There is actually one earlier that I've skipped entirely, and we're gonna return to him later. Don't you worry about that. Is this Ash Lake? Is this Ash Lake? Is this Ash Lake? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's possible. It is possible that this is Ash Lake. It's possible that there was a cataclysm on the land of Lauron, as we know it, and it created Drangleic. It is possible, but it is never confirmed by developers. It is up to, like, the player to decide whether it is or Lauron or not. There is a lot of clues as we go on, but we'll discuss them later. Don't you worry. Hurrah for save zone! Yay! Raid. Be wary of tough enemy. Raid. Secret, but hooray for wings! Yay! Are you ready? Yay! Illusion wall ahead. Not really. Hidden path. I'm just gonna rate all of this up. Good luck. Are you ready? So what rating does in this game is actually quite nice. It heals you up a bit. Praise the sun. Absolutely. Praise the sun. Absolutely. Like a dream. I think that was mine. I placed this message with another character. I don't know. Praise the sun. Welcome to Majula. This is the hub world to this game. And it's beautiful. I don't know what people are complaining about the graphics of this game, but this game is quite beautiful in its graphics. Sure, the world isn't connected as it is in the first game, but you know, I still like it a lot. But we'll discuss that as we go on again. Music starts, we get Divine Blessing here. Let's read that item, shall we? Take some time. Holy water endowed with a divine blessing. Cures, status effect, and fully restores hit points. Water blessed by an ancient goddess. Her name is long forgotten, and the Magic Academy of Malphia denies even her existence. In any age, there are those who refuse... God damn it. Those... there are those who refuse to see reason. And it is their meddling that distorts the truth. Now, if I understand right, every land outside of Drangleic is separated. It's another world. So Malphia, where it is basically the magic world, I suppose, or magic land. Magic land sounds like an amusement park. But essentially Malphia is very similar to Vinheim, I believe. The Dragon School of Vinheim in the first game. Amber Herb. An annual herb with an amber color so deep it gives the impression of luminescence. Restores a small number of spell uses. It is the mistaken belief of many that the flowers of this herb do not blossom. However, small white flowers do blossom during dusk when the moon is visible. And we'll be getting more of those. Try jumping off, and then treasure ahead. Well, it's true, but don't jump off, just slither down, I suppose. Slither down. Behind! Item. Absolutely correct. I'm just gonna go and rate all the messages here. But, you know, it helps people. Especially if it's one single person. Per person? What is up with my English today, guys? I apologize. Plunging attack. Nah, I'm not gonna rate this one. That's just stupid. You die if you do that. I mean... That's not the way to do this. Alright. The Farfire. This place is friggin' beautiful. Some say that the music here gets old really quick. I don't know. It's melancholic, it's slow, it sets up the mood, I believe, perfectly. I like it. I like it a lot. Let's go up to the idol there, the monument. Oh, there is a lot to be discussed there. With a certain person. Hello, Saulden. That is almost 50 million deaths. Do I count the numbers correct? Yes, I do. That is almost 50 million deaths. And by the end of this Let's Play, there is probably gonna be 55 million deaths. Likely even more. We can see an area down there. An area down there. Several areas down there. It is actually not as connected, but believe me, we'll visit all of these areas. We will.
You're undead, aren't you? You have that distinct scent, the smell of irreversible fate. This is Majula. It is a kind of settlement, a place where life is almost normal. And in Drangleic these days, there are very few places like that. I am Saulden, and like you, I lost everything, and now I'm here. You probably heard that it was possible to break the curse here. Well, that's not true at all. There's nothing here for you, me, or anybody. Do you know much about souls? Even I'm not certain, but I'm told that the soul is the essence of life itself. Anything living, sentient or no, supposedly has one. What we call the curse is traceable to the soul. Do you see what that means? To be alive, to walk this earth. That's the real curse, right there. We undead will never die. And that's quite a predicament, really. There are 4 beings in this land with giant souls. And wherever you go from here, you'll sooner or later come up against them. Each has a powerful soul and a terrible curse. If that frightens you, then you ought to just give up right now, like I have. Do you ever cry out for help? The journey of an undead is long and treacherous. You'll face invaders from other worlds at every turn. If you need help, why not proclaim faith in the Blue Sentinels? When you face danger, the Blue Sentinels will come to your aid. Protection is yours, if you wish. You need only accept their kind embrace.
Sure, we're gonna join the Way of Blue Covenant.
That is a wise decision. People are weak, but the Blue Sentinels, Watch over us in their benevolence. Let the sentinels cradle you in their embrace.
Alright, I want to point out, we're gonna just talk to NPCs in this episode. We're not gonna go anywhere outside of Majula, so if you're not interested in NPCs and their dialogues and lore, I suggest you to tune out right away. I'm sorry I can't show you more, but this is gonna take a while because there's a lot of NPCs to talk.
Do you feel lonely here? It suits me just fine, as I've nothing left anyway. It will grow on you, this place. Give it some time.
We can learn the welcome gesture, which is always nice. We can talk to him and we can enter the Covenant of the Way of Blue as many times as we want at him. So he's the Crestfallen Saulden. He basically takes up the role of the guide. The same guides that were also present in Demon Souls as well as in Dark Souls 1. Although this Crestfallen warrior is a bit different. This Crestfallen is actually more sympathetic to your cause, and he is going to be on your side throughout the game. Exactly. Or unless if you kill him, then you're a complete bastard and I hate you forever, but Saulden is my friend.
Do you see the way beyond the bonfire? That will take you to the Forest of the Giants. There was once a great fort, but little of it remains. You may just find something there that will be of use on your journey. But don't venture too far inside, or you might not come back.
That's the fort he's talking about.
Hade's Tower of Flame lies beyond the far gate. In the cathedral, the Apostles of Blue gather. But the road leading there is perilous. The gate is rigged with some contraption. But how it works, I just don't know. Have you seen that pit, that gaping hole in the earth? I don't know what it's like down below, but I wouldn't suggest trying to find out. Besides, you'll never make it down there, not without a ladder of some sort. The flame you see there is a bonfire. They exist all across the land, beacons to we undead. If you are tired, try resting beside the flame. The flame heals us. Long ago, a woman called a Firekeeper watched over each bonfire. She kept the flame lit and guarded it from those who would extinguish it. I wonder where the Firekeepers went. Did you notice any letters on the ground on the way here? These are messages that have jumped the fissures between worlds. In Drangleic, the flow of time is convoluted. Things shift and waver, twist and turn.
Oh, I see.
Poignant wishes, dashed dreams. The messages convey our very inner thoughts. If your will to soldier on falters, try leaving a message. Somebody out there is sure to listen. You may notice symbols that appear upon the ground. These are summon signatures. They call upon spirits from other worlds through the schisms in time. If you fear hollows, find summon signatures to call upon spirits to help you. Do you see the way beyond?
Alright, that's it for Saulden.
May you find peace on your journey.
So you can see that time is convoluted even in Drangleic, just like it was in Lauron. I'm not saying, he said it. He said it. Alright, let's bust this myth. This is nothing. This is nothing, it will never change. The letters are worn beyond recognition, that's all you get. There's nothing, there's no secrets, okay? There's no secrets, not yet anyway. It could be meant for a DLC. It could be meant for anything else, or it could be meant just as a note that this monument here is ancient. It's really ancient. Alright, we talked to Saulden. There is someone very important down here. Hello, Emerald Herald.
Are you the next monarch?
That is our role.
Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
That's this flask.
Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
You may level up by the power of the Emerald Herald. You cannot level up anymore at the bonfires. You have to level up at her. Which is interesting because it makes you return to Majula very often. And this is actually interesting because there might be developments in the future. And I think that is a good way to do it. I think this is the right way to do the Souls games. Like, they did it similarly in the Nexus and Demon Souls. I think, like, this is the way they should do it. Like, there should be just a central location where you level up, where you do shopping and all that nonsense. And Majula gets that same feeling like Nexus did. Firelink Shrine didn't as much.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery, for misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid. Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Bearer of the curse, seek souls. Larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
Alright. Alright. So,
Over
let's
the
talk to
hill
her.
and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul. But whatever came of it? Those who come to Drangleic seeking salvation soon lose hope and turn hollow. It happens to them all, sooner or later. That blue knight at the base of the tower, his spirit is already broken, although he does offer sound advice. Perhaps he is a foreshadowing of your own future. That tiny thing inside the ruins, an ancient being that will mock your very existence. She imparts sound wisdom, provided you find her on a good day. The sign you bear will drain your very souls. And without souls, you will turn hollow. Stay strong. Do not lose hope, even when you have precious little time. For when the undead dies, it is never truly dead, but only one step closer to hollowing. Not all undead are hollows, but all hollows were once undead. If you find an Estus shard, bring it to me, so that I may ease your burden. Over the hill and past the forest, where a man but what?
Alright, so we got to know something about the king, King Vendrick, who peered into the essence of soul. Who else peered into the essence of soul? Well, we know for certain Logan tried. We know for certain Seath tried. Those are a couple of names. But that is either all in first game, not in this game. There is gonna be many more names that peered into the essence of soul in this game, believe me. Down here, I'll learn some loot. Let's first get the loot. Rolled into that barrel, alright. Some life gems and the soul of a nameless soldier. Hello, Lenigrast.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door. I'm a blacksmith. I'm nothing without my tools. Bring me that key. Chop chop.
He is a great badass. He is a badass of all sorts. Keeping in mind he cannot climb up the windows, neither can we. Game logic, guys, game logic. Alright, there's a couple more people that we want to talk to. There is an armorer right over here. His name is Maughlin. I believe that's the pronunciation anyway. Before we do that, we're gonna climb up here. There's gonna be a Titanite shard for us. Free Titanite shard, mind if I do. Hello, Maughlin.
Hello there. Welcome to my shop. I'm Maughlin, and I sell armor. Oh, sorry, Please do have a look at my wares. I could really use the business. If you'd be so kind.
I would love to be kind enough to offer you business, but unfortunately I have no souls to offer to you. You're a bit too expensive for me.
I came from the west, from Volgan. Have you been there? It's a lively place, vibrant with trade. Very competitive, of course. And you have to grease the wheels to get anywhere. But I didn't have the funding for that, so I left home in hopes of striking gold. It's been years since then, and I've made very little headway. I don't even know why I'm still here. Everything's all run down and dying. It's terrible for business, really. A group calling themselves the Blue Sentinels have gained much power in Volgan. You can't even run a shop without their blessing. They claim to be working for the greater good, but it's absolute hogwash. Oh, by the gods, why the hell am I here? Well, I do hope I see you again.
Oh, you will see me again, don't worry, Maughlin. It's also interesting that the Emerald Herald defines Saulden as a Blue Knight, not as a... he's a Knight of Blue. He's not someone that is inside the way of blue like I am. It makes you think, is he actually just a coward that is in the way of blue? Or is he actually a Blue Sentinel? I have the feeling like he is a Blue Sentinel, actually. Just a slight feeling. There's some item to be gotten there. Life gems. Or rather, one life gem. Up here, we're gonna find some homeward bones, which are gonna come in handy. Much in handy. One thing you might have noticed in the inventory is that you can now carry up to 4 rings, 3 weapons, and left hand weapons. And you can carry up to 10 different kinds of quick bar items. So here are 5 homeward bones, I believe, yes. And this is the Victor's Stone. You can enter the Covenant of Champions, or what was it called again? The Company of Champions. And this makes the game harder. I believe it doubles the defense of every enemy and increases their damage by 50% or something like that. Which makes, of course, the game harder, but you get all stones eventually. And through 50 all stones you get awesome rewards, essentially. But that's neither here nor there. This is the pit that Saulden mentioned. No, we cannot survive it. The fall distance that you can survive in this game is much minor. This door is locked. Interestingly enough, there is no message here. We got an Estus Flask shard, and speaking of which, we should probably equip my Estus there. And I'm gonna leave a message, because if there is no message, then, you know, it might mean that people here don't know about this. Try attacking. And then... where is... maybe concepts? I'm searching for a very particular one. Joy! There we go. Oh, a message appeared. Right, I can then treasure ahead. Sure. It is correct, so I'm gonna, of course, rate it up. Alright, one more place. Hurrah for friend! this is the little ancient being that the Emerald Herald mentioned. Hey, but there's no one here, there's just a kitty cat.
Oh, undead are we?
I'm not talking to a cat, am I?
And one without much time remaining. Just about ready to fall apart, I'd say. Not exactly the time to be chatting with a cat. Well, suit yourself. Oh yes, you may call me Shalquoir. Enchanté.
A French cat, that is.
So, what did you want anyway? Ooh, you smell wonderful.
She is basically, well, her name is Sweet Shalquoir, and she can make you abandon covenants without any sin. Like, it's similar to the role that Oswald had in the first game. You can also check your status with covenants and which covenant you're in right now. And you can buy some basically very good items. Ring of Evil Eye. This is in the first game, but I never actually checked it. I never found it in depths. Peer too closely at the rare stone that forms the eye of this ring, and things can writhe and stir may come into focus. Silver Cat Ring is a very, very interesting ring. It reduces damage from falling. It allows you to go into that pit. Easier to be detected by enemies with the Red Eye Ring. The Name Engraved Ring is easier to connect players who choose the same god, which is very nice if you're in a conversation and want to help a friend. Ring of Whispers can hear the voices of foes. Very interesting. Basically, you get a sound effect every time you're close to a foe. Homeward Bones, Prism Stones, Alluring Skulls, Lloyd's Talisman. Talismans used by Cleric Knights blocks Estus recovery within a limited area. It is said that the Cleric Knights use these talismans to hunt down accursed undead. Cleric Knights fight with pride, and by blocking the recovery of the undead, they can also fight with impunity. But they don't mention why it is called Lloyd!
This place is already dead. Everything will crumble and waste away so that something new may be born. Isn't it wonderful? This place is we receive only the most peculiar visitors. Folk like yourself. It's enough to keep even a cat amused. Are you going to see the old ones?
That's the idea.
Those four who have grown so incredibly ancient. They must have sprouted quite a thick coat of moss by now. For heaven's sake, no one even knows their names anymore.
Try and behead them.
Yes, nothing like yourself.
Interesting.
For you have a most pleasant scent. It grows nicer with each passing day. Have you made friends with the man by the sea?
As a matter of fact, I did.
He's lost everything. Absolutely everything. The only thing he's good for now is a few tidbits on covenants. Covenants are a type of, well, contract, you might say. You give something to gain something. That's the way humans like it, right? It might be just the thing you need. But what does a cat know?
Well, I know for certain that a cat used to be a covenant giver in the first game.
Did you see that oddly formed rock behind here? Long ago they called it Victor's Stone, as I recall. If you wish to face greater challenges, speak to the rock. Although, you'd just as well not. This place is everything isn't... Nothing suited you, I presume?
I don't have souls.
Well, that's dismaying.
Alright, Kitty Cat is much more smarter than what you might think. You can actually check with the binoculars, which is a weapon now. That is why I had so much difficulty. with the binoculars in the first game, because I was confused by the binoculars of the second game. It's a cat. It's a freaking cat. What more do you want? It's a freaking cat. There's nothing else to talk to, I believe. No one else to talk to here. So I'm gonna just go around and search for some basic loots. And then we're gonna start this episode. There is a bunch of angry pigments behind there. You can get rare drops as a cracked red eye orb, which we actually already got. Defeat the master of the world you have invaded to acquire a token of spite. The residual sins of those who have succumbed to the dark temptations are contained in the form of the cracked red eye orb. We can talk to the Emerald Herald and give her the Estus Flux shard that we've got. And I should check the description too. The shard of an Estus Flask. Shards are deeply soaked in Estus. Graft the shard to an Estus Flask to increase flask uses. Over the ages, countless souls rested their bones and as they drank from the original flask. And now, this shard remains, serving as a vestige of their hopes and dreams. That guy just got hanged in the freaking well.
Curse. Seek souls. Seek the lest this land swallow.
No. You're not supposed to say that, lady.
Is that a shard?
There we go.
Here, let me see it, so that I may help you to see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
She is a friggin' pessimist, guys. She's a friggin' pessimist. I don't even want to mention that. There we go. That's just last strengthened. We have two uses now. You start with one use. It's not as... I think that guy just turned into a dragon. Spoiler. Alright, there is one item that I would like to loot before we'll go to the Forest of Fallen Giants next time. So what can be said about this place? Well, it can be Lauron. It might not be Lauron. No clue in the game given. There's just tips that it might be, but it is not said. It is never said, you know. Everyone is up to interpret the game's meaning as they want it. That is what makes the lore of these games great. There is no canon. That's the thing. There is absolutely no canon throughout the games. It just makes the games much better. Alright. That is the way to the Heights Tower of Flame, by the way. Tower of Flame. We'll get our first shield here. Standard wooden Palma. The fancy name and nifty paint are surely a merchant's efforts to make this very ordinary shield more attractive. And it's a first shield that we get, so we might as well use it. Like, you know, having a shield with 100% block rate, physical block rate, is very rare in this game. They are trying to phase out the shields, I reckon. They are trying to make you use less shields, because in PvP, shields are not useful at all. I think shields are a bad item in PvP, because if you go on turtling like this, first and foremost, the enemy will notice that you are turtling, and they won't be tricked by it. Secondly, also your stamina gets regenerated much slower when you're blocking. That is also a downside. Thirdly, there is this move. This replaces the kick. If I can... There we go. It's forward R1. Sometimes it works for me, sometimes it doesn't. I'm trying my best. I should probably just keep it a bit of a lower strength when I hit the buttons. Anyway, what it does, it breaks the shield like it did with the kick. But not only that, it breaks your pose so much so that the other enemy can actually inflict a critical hit upon you. So, it's very dangerous to block with your shield, especially in PvP. In PvE, it's actually rather useful having shields, because you can block most enemy attacks, but there are some enemies that are going to completely drain your stability and stagger you for several seconds, so do be careful. And... well, there is another rusted coin that we can get down here. We're gonna proceed next time over this path anyway. Just ahead, therefore try right. Correct. The reason why the area is separated with gates is probably to keep a frame rate more stable. Like, in Dark Souls 1, the frame rate was rather bad. Like, there is no hiding that fact. It was quite bad. In this game, it's actually solid even on the consoles. The loading times on the consoles are abysmal. Like, it takes 30 to 40 seconds to load up an area from another. But that is only if you travel. And you get to travel right at the start of the game, which is very, very useful. Alright, we started Majula with, what, 49 million deaths worldwide? And that is only on the PC version, by the way. It's separated as a counter on Xbox and PS3. It's increasing, guys. It is increasing. Every single... Well, now it's stuck there. Ah, there we go. 2 more deaths. 2 more. 1 more. It's increasing constantly, guys. It's really, really fucking fancy. Right at the start of the game, actually, it used to increase by 600 deaths per second. It was insanity. Well, you can already see by all of these bloodstains in Majula, and there is no freaking reason why you should die in Majula other than that. We're gonna go there next time. Thanks everyone for watching, and until then, be well. Bye! Praise the sun another way!